Reward technology is changing expectations among consumers and opening up new loyalty and reward strategies for companies. An increasing willingness among employees to embrace digital rewards, but this willingness is only just starting to be reflected by corporate strategies. A medium through which digital rewards are carried out is Cash Token, one of the most potent patronage reward products that offers a life-changing cash opportunity to its beneficiaries. This creates emotional equity between businesses and customers. Cash Token Africa is Africa's first cash reward as a service company. Cash Token Rewards Africa Limited is a reward tech company that helps businesses optimize sales and customer loyalty investment through its universal gamification of sales and consumer expenditure. The Cash Token is an electronic reward and celebratory gift commodity. It connects every patronage or gift in any nation's economy to an opportunity for life-changing cash rewards and guaranteed cash for financial inclusion in the form of insurance, pension, and savings. Joining us on the show this morning to discuss how Cash Token Rewards Africa reward system works is Labode, Chief Executive Officer, Cash Token Rewards Africa. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, very straight. Tell us about Cash Token Rewards Africa.
Okay, thank you very much, and it's very good to be on this show. Let me start by saying that we decided a few years ago that it was important for Africa to establish a new generation of socially smart business models, where we're able to not just help the businesses in any country increase the velocity of transactions that they do, but also to better the personal economies of those patronizing them. So we had conducted this research we called the patronage optimization research. And essentially, to cut a long story short, what people are most interested in is cash. Nigerians know what to do with cash. Africans know what to do with cash. Anyone knows what to do with cash. So that every time you patronize the business and they have met their business objective, you receive what is called a cash token, which first of all gives you a universal reward. Imagine that all Nigerians have a single reward wallet across all businesses. So you're entering Uber, you're buying airtime, you're paying for electricity, whatever you're doing, you have a single reward wallet where cash goes into. But not just that. Nigerians are also interested in life-changing cash opportunity. So imagine that when you receive a cash token from any of our clients, you instantly get some cash in your reward wallet, and two, you get a ticket into a weekly national consumer draw that gives you a chance to win between 5,000 and 100 million. So every other week, and I can say that we are one of the first companies in Africa where we are guaranteed to make people millionaires because they have patronized businesses. So imagine how you're impacting the economy by patronizing Nigerian businesses and how they're also impacting the lives of those who are patronizing them. So that's what we're doing. So we're a cash reward as a service company.
Okay, I get all these terminologies. But can you break it down for ordinary people like us? How exactly it works?
Okay.
What you are saying is that if I go to one of your merchants
Yes.
that are giving cash token reward,
Yes.
after spending my money,
Exactly.
I get a small bonus as an electronic reward. So the more I buy,
Yes.
the more rewards I get.
Absolutely.
So where is the balance here?
Okay.
My own interest or you trying to make more profits?
So let's just say it this way. When we say social, let me start from that and I'll break it down to a very layman's language. When we say socially smart, it is a marriage of successful enterprises and social development. So let's take MTN, for example, one of our clients. MTN simply wants to make sure that it makes more revenue, it brings in new customers, and builds some emotional equity with their customers. So for example, they say, Chief Ruben, you spend 1,000 naira today. I'd like you to spend 1,200. You don't need to use the other networks. Stay loyal to me. And then you meet that objective. And then you get an SMS saying, you have been gifted one cash token by MTN. Instantly, you will receive cash. I'm not some funny points. Nigerians don't understand points. In your wallet, real cash that is unrestricted. Two, you get a ticket into a national consumer draw. Gives you a chance to win between 5,000 and 100 million on Friday. Lalale Friday, we'll call it. So on Friday night, Chief Ruben Abati wins 10 million naira. What has happened essentially is that MTN has invested in buying a cash token from us.
She's smiling because they don't know me as a chief. They know me as doctor. But back where we come from, I'm a chief in some places.
So beyond the chief, I was excited about the 10 million on Friday because I know there will be implications.
Oh, they did.
So that's how I'm excited for him.
So he wins the money because he has patronized the business. But what MTN has done, which is part of what you wanted to find out, is that they have made an investment in buying the cash token from our company before it was offered to you. So you see that what they have really done is that they have made you spend a little more and they have rewarded that patronage. That's what it is. That's the balance that actually comes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So how did you come about the reward tech? What is the current status of reward tech industry in Nigeria? Because you've painted quite, I'm already dreaming of spending Chief Dr. Abati's 10 million on Friday. So it would be interesting to find out from you, how did you come up with that reward?
Okay, so first of all, I spoke earlier about the research, and that was quite instructive. That, we went around the world looking at different models, and we ended up at the same point where we thought that, hey, what people really want is cash. But of course, we are not missing out the nuances. It is that people want potentially life-changing cash as a reward for patronage. And hence, we needed to create the company, which is now Africa's first cash reward as a service, essentially. Now, what it is that when anybody has made a purchase, don't forget that you wanted to buy a phone, for example. That's what you want first, not the reward. You wanted to buy a phone first. You want service first. Good service first. So no matter how good the reward is, if the service is poor, it's poor. So you get the service, and then you get the reward. The investment has come from the customer. Now, what we have really done after doing that research, we also had some focus groups from the North, Muslims, Christians, and all of that. Some people are not interested in lottery, right? So what we have done is that every time you made that purchase, some part of that money goes into a draw. On Friday night, we have 500 million naira in the pot. It is not cash from Labode. It is really cash from many businesses that have bought cash tokens from us. So we have the technology that allows people to get the instant cash first. Then, of course, the draws happen, monitored by, of course, the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. We are not a lottery company, but the Lottery Commission needed to give us a national approval for us to be able to run the draws for the consumers. So essentially, that is what has led to this, that understanding. And of course, for businesses, no business wants to spend a dime without getting results for it. And that's part of what we have been able to do, that every time you buy a cash token to give your customer, it actually has already made you some profit. And of course, you can share that by creating prosperity for the people who are patronizing you.
So which now takes us to the next question. How will the future of reward tech affect customer loyalty in Nigeria, specifically, and by extension, Africa?
So I'll say this. The future of consumer rewards is the gamification of sales and rewards. People are getting more and more enlightened. People want much more for their patronage. They realize that many businesses are very prosperous today because they are patronizing them. So I want you to understand the power here. It is power share, but the power really belongs to the consumer. So the future, if you look at the Nigerian economy, the cash reward as a service today, we are talking about $500 billion an economy, the Nigerian economy. The reward tech in Nigeria is at least 10% of that. It's pretty huge. And we are taking a lead in how to actually connect this. So even those businesses that are doing rewards today for banks and all of that, who thought we were competition, we say, hey, no. We are redefining that. It is co-opetition. So even if you are providing some point system to some bank, it's not exciting. So we're adding our cash tokens to what they're doing to actually be able to give them some more leeway to providing good value to their customers. And that's what we're doing.
Excellent. You constantly say Cash Token Rewards Africa is the first company in Africa to offer
cash reward
as a service.
Yes.
So how did you come about that claim or that stake that is the first company? Then the second part of that question is that what makes Cash Token Rewards Africa stand out?
Okay, so the first thing is that today in Africa, you will not find any company that does purely cash reward as a service. You will not find. You're going to find components of it all over the place. That's number one. Number two, there's also no consciousness of this socially smart business model we're pushing across Africa. About 2 weeks ago, I was with His Royal Majesty in Kenya with President Ruto, spreading this gospel across Africa that we must develop a new generation of socially smart models where it is not based on charity. The business is not doing charity. MTN is not doing charity. MTN is trying to make sure that you patronize them, you stay loyal to them before they buy cash tokens from us, before you get it. So when you see a lot of people winning 10 million, 20 million, winning all that money and creating new jobs and starting new businesses and their dignity is on point, it is because a business has made an investment. So it is not based on charity. So no one today in Africa, no company, and I can say that very clearly. I was in New York the other day, sitting down with some of our partners and saying the same thing. And they went to check it. There no company has ever done that. And we really stand out because we are very much focused on how we make a whole lot of money for our shareholders and how we get value for the customers. And the only way you can do that is to provide value to the business, because the business is not going to make any investment if you are not bringing them any value. That's what makes us stand out. So beyond, if you see a lot of point systems that banks use today, and those who provide it, they're good businesses, like I'll say that. But you find out that it's a different model, essentially. So running a national consumer draw where you can't buy it as a lottery, you must have made a patronage before you can get it into a draw, is completely unprecedented.
Okay, what are some of the unique products and services that you offer, and how do they deliver value for consumers and business owners? That's one. Two, somebody sent a question. Apparently, people are watching and they are interested. This person says, Ruben, please ask him if their product is different from the cashback product practiced in the UK.
Okay,
Those two questions.
That's a good question. First of all, when you say cashback, that means that the business has decided that when you have made a patronage and you're paid a certain amount of money, a little part of your money goes back to you. That's brilliant. That works. However, the research says that if you want to get the best of a consumer, how do you get the best of the average consumer? It is that they are interested in something called life-changing cash. That doesn't exist today. So what we have done is a combination of both, where instantly when you receive a cash token, you get some cash in your wallet. We don't call it cash back. We call it cash in your wallet. And two, you get a ticket into the weekly draw. Today, if you look at the gaming industry, 60 million Nigerians are gaming today. But they have to make a conscious bet. In this case, all Nigerians don't need to make a bet. All they need is to patronize the Nigerian business, thereby helping the businesses grow. That's prosperity. And then the businesses returning some back to them, where you see millionaires every other week. Every other Friday, Lalale Friday, in Nigeria, we will make millionaires. It happens all the time. We have documentaries that we're actually bringing out right now. People are creating new jobs. People are being helped from being embarrassed. People are sending their kids to school from this already. And let me also share this on Arise. Perhaps the first time it's going to come out. The National Lottery Regulatory Commission has just signed an agreement for Nigeria with us to establish Africa's first national reward. What you hear is national lottery. The first time here in Africa and anywhere, you're going to see what is called a national reward, where the strategy essentially is that going forward, it will be policy of government working with the private sector, that every time a Nigerian pays the tax, buys anything, you get rewarded. So I just want you to imagine the size of money we're able to push back into the economy, helping people get out of poverty, creating new jobs and all of that. So it's unprecedented, and we think that this should go across Africa. Yes, there's a lot of pressure, out there in the UK. We have a fresh, let me also add this, Dr. Abati, that we have today a commitment for a fresh $100 million into our company. And this is essentially helping us to spread across Africa and go over to Europe. And that is one of the biggest things that we think is happening to different economies across Africa, where every time a purchase is made, we can create new monies, bettering the personal economies of the people of the country, and of course, being able to build some public emotional equity, not just for the businesses, but also for government, who has actually facilitated a national reward for their country.
Well, that definitely sounds interesting, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, so Nigerian consumers are interested in being rewarded for loyalty.
Yes.
Brands to businesses. However, when you merge this with technology breeds, it breeds some form of skepticism, if I could put it that way. Why should consumers trust you? What makes your reward system stand out?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question, because we're also in an era where there's tremendous fraud around the place. So even when you get, we've experienced when we started out, when somebody has actually won 5 million and they can't believe it. So anytime you call them, they say they don't believe it. So part of what we have done is that we're working with our partners. Consumer education is such a big deal. So for example, an MTN, an Airtel, a Glo, and all our partners, MasterCard is also one of our partners. They get to educate their customers first that, yeah, we've started a program. It is the MTN cash rewards for customers. So first of all, there's one level of education from their side. And on our side also, we also educate the customers. So when you win, you can connect both to it. Okay, so education is such a big deal. But on the second part is that when we started out this, we had to hire Deloitte to audit that system itself. And two, we also hired Alexander Forbes to audit the draws. But we're moving to another level now where we're having multiple layers of audit that allows the businesses not necessarily to talk to us, but they can talk to the auditors. What we're really selling is integrity. You know, without integrity, the more of that you see, the more money that we can actually make. Because ultimately, if that is lost, this is lost. And you can be sure that this Nigerian business is not just going across Africa, we're taking it across the world. We're very proud of it. We're going to keep impacting lives. We're going to be able to create new jobs, and we're going to keep working with government, starting from Nigeria, where it becomes policy. And I'm happy for Lanre Gbajabiamila, who's the DG of the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. We will be working with the government to ensure that this spreads all around the place.
Okay, just before we go, clarification. What is the cost of entry? All you need to do is just buy from a partner company or merchant, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then this Lalale Friday,
yes.
I hope you got the copyright for it because you know that song. Lalale Friday, Bimi o ba sule o, sule sule.
That's on Wale Thompson.
Ore Wale Lave Sharia. I hope you got Wale Thompson to also buy it.
It'd be good to find him. I'm sure we can work out a deal.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
On the Morning Show.